Right, another past examination paper question. So this is from Edexcel, Core Mathematics C1, June 2009, and this was question number 9 of that paper. So let's have a read. F of x is given by 3 minus 4 root x squared divided by root x, and in part A we need to show that f of x is equal to 9x to the minus half plus ax to the power of half plus b, where a and b are constants to be found. So let me attempt part A over here. Whoops, and let me copy down the f of x. So f of x, so that is 3 minus 4 root x close bracket squared divided by the root x below. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top bracket as a side calculation. So here's my side calculation. Let's multiply out 3 minus 4 root x squared. So that is the same as writing 3 minus 4 root x multiplied by another 3 minus 4 root x. So let's multiply these two. So 3 times 3, 9. 3 multiplied by minus 4 root x is minus 12 root x. Minus 4 root x times 3 is minus 12 root x. And minus 4 root x times minus 4 root x is plus 16x. So remember these rules. So root x multiplied by root x, so that is the same as root x squared, and root x squared is simply x. Now further to that, root is the same as a half power. So the term to the power of a half, we can write that as a root, a square root. So let's use these in order to simplify this further. So we have 9 minus 12 root x minus 12 root x. So I'm going to write that as minus 24 root x, same as x to the half, plus this 16x. So this is what we have when we multiply the top brackets. So if I continue below, so let's use this answer for the main calculation. So f of x is equal to, for the top bracket multiplied, we had 9 minus 24 x to the power of half plus 16x, and that is all divided by the root x below. But instead of writing root x, let's write it as x to the power of half. So divided by x to the power of half. Now from this point forward, I'm going to divide each term in the numerator by the term in the denominator. So let's do that. So let me divide the 9 by x to the half minus the 24 x to the power of half divided by the denominator term x to the half plus the 16x divided by x to the half as well. So I've divided each term in the numerator by the term in the denominator, which is x to the half. Now remember these rules when it came to indices. So here's the first rule: 1 over x to the power of n, that is the same as x to the power minus n. And remember this law of indices: whenever you divide two terms having the same base, we subtract powers. So in this instance it will be x to the power a minus b. So whenever you divide two terms having the same base, the base terms here are both x, we subtract powers, meaning a minus b. So let's apply these rules to f of x, to this particular step. So if I go back to my favourite colour, blue, f of x, so that is equal to the 9 1 over x to the power of half, according to this rule here, is the same as x to the minus half. Okay, let me make that more clearer. So x to the power minus half, And if I take a red pen, I can certainly cancel these two x to the halves up and down, giving me a minus 24, which remains, plus the 16 at the end. And according to this rule, x to the power 1 divided by x to the power of half is x to the power 1 minus half, 1 minus half being half. So this should be the solution for part A. So let's go to part A. So here's part A. We wrote it in this form. We need to find A and B though, so let's make a comparison. So f of x is 9x to the minus half plus ax to the half plus b. So let's copy that below. So our f of x is 9x to the power minus half plus ax to the half, so this is, I'm copying down the form from the question, plus b. And let's work out the values of a as well as b. So if I take two different coloured pens, let me take a green pen. So let's find a. By comparison, a, I make that as 16. So a equals 16. So that's the solution for a. How about b? If I take this purple pen, b is minus 24. So let's make a note of that here. b minus 24. So that should be the solution to part A. So part A done. So let's have a look at part B. Part B, find f primed x. Now let me make a note. So primed by convention means differentiate with respect to x. Okay, so that is what we mean by prime. And if we have dots, so for those doing mechanics or physics, dots tends to mean differentiate with respect to time or differentiate with respect to t. So we need f prime x, we need to differentiate with respect to x. So let's use our answer for f of x to work out f prime x. So let me copy down my solution for f of x. So we had 9x to the minus half minus 24 plus 16x to the half. So let's copy that down. So let me copy that down over here. So f of x, so that being 9x to the minus half minus 24 plus 16x to the power half. Okay, so I've copied down f of x. So this is what we have over here. And we're going to differentiate that. So we're going to differentiate that to work out f primed x. So let's do that. Okay. One more note that I want to make is, if you're unaware of basic differentiation, so I have created a video on how to differentiate basic functions, but let me remind you, so if you're differentiating any term of the form ax to the power of n, where a and n are constants, to find the derivative dy over dx or y primed, all we do is we multiply by the power and subtract 1 from the power. So if I multiply by the power, n times a is na, and if I subtract 1 from the power, we'll have n minus 1. Whoops, let me make it as neat as I can. So n minus 1. So remember, multiply by the power and subtract 1 from the power. So if we continue with our calculation for f prime, so bearing in mind the basic rule of differentiation, for the first term, when I multiply by the power, minus half times 9, minus 9 over 2. And if I subtract 1 from the power, minus half, minus 1, minus 3 over 2. When I differentiate any constant, so any term independent of x, the answer is 0. And if we differentiate the third term using the basic rule, so multiply by the power, half times 16 is 8. Subtracting 1 from the power, half minus 1 minus half. Okay, so that should be the solution for f primed x. Now let's focus on the last part, part C. So part C, evaluate f primed 9. So let me do that particular part here. To work out f prime 9, very straightforward from here. All we do is we take our answer for f primed x and replace the x's by 9's. So let's do that. So for f primed x, we had minus 9 over 2 x to the power minus 3 over 2 plus the 8 x to the power minus half. And let's work out f primed 9. So if I simply replace the x's by 9's, I'll get minus 9 over 2 x replaced by 9 to the power minus 3 over 2 plus the 8 x replaced by 9 to the power minus half. And if you key this into your calculators, you should get an answer of 5 over 2. So that should be the solution to this particular part, part C. So not only that completes part C, that completes the question in its entirety. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.